Hi everybody, so in this video I'm gonna go over this bag that I made, and I did a tutorial on this bag before, but it was more fast-paced, so this time I took my time explaining how to make this tote bag. And I also have the pattern. You could go on my Etsy store if you want the pattern to this bag. And what else I was going to say, I will be working on my online store, so eventually I will also have the pattern on my online store. I'm still working on it. So in the meantime, you could have the pattern through my Etsy store. I will put a link in my description, and later when I'm ready to launch my online store, I also will add the link to the video as well if you want to go and buy it online on my store or Etsy. So this is what it looked like. It is a tote bag, right? And as you can see right now, no hands. It's standing by itself because I made it very professional. So the way I show it to you, I'm making a way that look professional, not homemade, so it got structure. That's why it's able to stand by itself. Okay, so I will show you through the video what materials I use to get it to stand like this and to give it that structure, that professional look. And also it has a button inside to close it. As you can see, I just use a button. It also has a zipper inside the bag. There's a zipper. So I'm gonna close the zipper. And y'all can see in the bag, it has like a zipper to put your stuff in it. It's just a simple tote bag. And oh yeah, this embroidery design I use for my Meridian embroidery machine, which is over there. It came with the design, so I decided to make a cute tote bag for myself. I needed a new bag, so I decided to make one. So in the video I will show you how to make one with my pattern. See, the size of it is nice. It's a nice size bag. It's where you could put like a little tablet. You could put like a tablet or your phone, all your stuff that you need. It's hollow, so people cannot go inside of it. I just have it right here, very close to my arm. It's gonna be hard for someone to try to pick in your bag if you're worried about that. But it's up to you how long you want the straps. That is your choice, how long you want it. But I like it like here. I like it like long and deep, so nobody could get access inside, because most of the time I don't pay attention when it comes to my bags. So this is it. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Okay, so here in this video I am cutting out my pattern and putting it together. You could get this pattern on my Etsy. Eventually I will have it on my online store where you could also purchase. So, but in the meantime, it's at my Etsy store, and I'll show you how to put the pattern together in this video. It's very simple. You just line it up exactly with AA. So, and then I have some with BB. That's how I line up the pattern. It's very easy and simple to do. I also wanted to add there is no gaps between my lines. You have to cut it exactly on the line so it can match and line up perfectly. Okay, so I finished cutting the pattern for this. So this is what it looked like. This is going to be the outside of the bag. And I want these lines here. See if you see it. These lines here is where I'm going to put the straps for the bag. So I have these straps, so they're gonna go in this placement. So to trace it, I'm gonna use a tracing paper. That's what I call it. If you're interested in buying it, I will put a link in the description. So I'm gonna take my tracing paper, right? And I want you to know this is permanent. Like the lines don't come off. So I just want y'all to be aware of that if y'all use it. And I'm just making sure it's lining up with the fabric before I trace it. Make sure everything is lining up together. Okay. Make sure everything is lined up. Okay, perfect. So now I'm gonna put my weight. Make sure things line up. And now I'm gonna take my tracing paper and look over it in the tracing wheel. Okay, so that's it. Let's see what it looks like. So now I know, and like I say, you gotta be careful because it's permanent. So some of the yellow stuff got on it a little bit. I'm just rubbing some of the stuff off. So this is where I'm gonna place the straps. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Okay, so now I'm gonna use felt fabric. Felt fabric is the secret sauce. It's what make any bag look professional. You use felt fabric. I'll roll it down. You use felt fabric. So I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of this. Hi everyone, so I finished cutting my patterns. This is felt. This is what's gonna give that bag that oomph, okay? So this is gonna be the outer part of the bag, and this is where I'm gonna put my straps so I know where to sew it. Okay, what else? This is the felt. This is gonna go on the inside part. This is what makes the bag feels professional. You just place it here like so. Okay, this is kind of raw. I'll probably just trim it a little bit because it's too big. So I'm just trimming it a little bit. Because you don't want to sew on it, you just only wanted to sew on the fabric because it's gonna be too bulky. So you're not supposed to sew on this part. It's just supposed to give the bag the cushion. Okay, let me see if it's fitting. Let's see if it gives it a lot of room. Okay. I'm gonna cut it a little bit more. Just cut it a little bit more. you know. If you sew for a very long time, you're gonna be able not to use, you know, measurements to know the right amount. You will have a good eye, like I do. Okay, so but you have to do it a lot. You have to do it like every day. I had to do this like every week when I was in school. Okay, let's see if that looks better. Yeah, this look way better now. Okay. I need to, I gotta cut a little, like over here, you can see here. I still need to cut more. It's not that my pattern wasn't accurate. It's not that I just didn't cut it good. That's why. Because the pattern is accurate. Okay. This looks crooked here. So I'm just gonna trim. Okay, let's see if I trim it. Perfect. Okay, so you don't want to cut, you don't want to sew this part because it's just gonna make it be, if you cut it, it's just gonna make the back look bulky. Not cut it. If you sew it, it's gonna make the back bulky. So you're not supposed to sew this part. Okay. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like this. And this is what's gonna give the bag that oomph. So right now, this is the felt. Where's the fabric? So this is supposed to be the felt. So it's gonna get that bag, that, you know, that professional look. Okay, so this is gonna be the inner lining. Some fabrics I got were donated. These are one of the fabric that was donated to me. I took it and because the way the fabric feels, it feels very tough and sturdy. I say, let me make, like, if the fabric feels like that, I'm gonna make a bag out of it. Like if you got sturdy fabrics, it's stiff fabrics or canvas, they make good accessories to make like bags. So this is gonna be the inner liner. So I cut twice of it. And this is cut once because I want to make like a little pocket inside the bag. Okay. The inner lining cut only once. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. The zipper is going to be right here. I use tracing paper. So this is where the zipper is going to be for the inner lining. Now I'm just ready to sew. Okay, in this part, I'm gonna begin to sew it, and I cut in the center where the zipper is supposed to be, and I'm gonna take double tape to place the zipper on it. That's the only way I could sew. That's the only way I know how to sew the zipper in. 1/4 double tape, and you make sure that the zipper fits in the size for the pocket. Okay, I know using tape will be an issue with the needle when you're sewing it, but that's the only way I know how to place the zipper in. That's why it's better to use an industrial machine when you're making your bags. If you don't have that, then I would suggest getting a size 16 needle and a sturdy in the sewing machine. If you don't have an industrial machine, maybe a heavy duty sewing machine for domestic, you know. So I just want to mention that. Okay, in this part here, all you do is top stitch all around the zipper. Um, and when you're done, you back stitch it. And that's it. It's that simple. Okay, in this part, I didn't get to finish top stitching it because I ran out of thread. So I had to rethread the machine and top stitch all around the zipper. Okay, so now that I finished placing the zipper, I'm gonna take the same lining of fabric and I'm just gonna top stitch the edge of the fabric from side to side so the fabric won't move around. I'm just making a pocket and you only stitch the side, the left and right side, and edge stitch it, and that's it. Okay, so now I'm done. Now I'm gonna just edge stitch the bottom part of the bag, and that's it. Okay, so now I'm placing wrong sides together and I'm gonna place the button. So the first thing you do, you place wrong side together, and this little piece of paper that I just cut out is a bag stiffener that you use to place the buttons in. So I'll just cut a piece to place the button in to secure it on the fabric. Okay, so now that I've finished placing the button, I'm just adding the clips all around the bag because I'm going to sew it together. I'm going to sew 1/2 inch all around the bag. Okay, so once I'm finished sewing all around the bag, I'm going to sew in the corners of the bag to complete sewing the inner lining of the bag. Make sure you back stitch when you're closing your corners. Okay, so now I'm going to place the straps where I want to place it. And remember when I used the tracing wheel and the tracing paper to know where to put the straps. It's really up to you how long or short you want your straps to be. So I'm just going to sew the straps on the outer part of the bag and just do like a rectangle in the center of the straps to hold it in place. Okay, so in this part, I'm just going to stitch a rectangle in the center of the straps to hold it in place before I sew the bag completely. Okay, so now that I've finished putting the straps on the bag or the outer part of the bag, I'm going to sew wrong sides together and I'm going to sew 1/2 inch all around the bag like I did with the lining. Okay, so now I'm gonna place double stitch tape on the felt so it won't move because you're not supposed to sew on the felt. It's just like an interfacing for the bag. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish off the back and sew in the corners. Don't forget to back stitch it when you sewing it. The reason why I switched machines because I ran out of thread and I didn't want to re-thread the machine again. Okay, so now that I finished sewing in the corners, now I'm going to turn the back inside out, and I'm going to get my bone and making sure all the corners is out of the bag. As you see, I'm using the bone and pressing against the creases, and now I'm going to put double tape on this felt for the bottom part of the bag and place it inside the bag. Okay, so now I'm folding like 1/2 inch on the top part of the bag because I'm gonna put the inner lining inside the bag to complete the bag. As you can see right there, I ironed it in the lining of the fabric, so it's easier for me to place the bag, the inner lining of the bag inside the outer lining of the bag. So you're gonna see me do that right now. You're not supposed to iron, but I do have Teflon sheet to protect the fabric, and it's just a lot easier if you do iron it, but you're not supposed to because you could melt the fabric or whatever, but it's just easier for me to place the lining inside the bag. That's why I'm ironing it. But so if you iron it, it's at your own risk. You know, I'm doing it because I just want my bag to look neat. But if your fabric gets messed up or melted from the iron, that's at your own risk because you're not supposed to do it. But I do it because I just want my bag to look more neat and professional. Okay, at this part, I am placing the lining inside the bag to finish completing sewing my bag, as you can see. Make sure you line up side seams to side seams and evenly distribute the fabric in between. Okay, so now I'm going to use my singular machine to sew my bag. It's just a lot easier that way to use this machine to sew it. If you have a domestic sewing machine, you could remove the arm so it could be easier for you to sew the last part of the bag. So I'm just showing you what it looks like before I sew it. I'm just going to top stitch all around the bag before I complete the project. I also want to add with the singular machine, you could just use it just to sew your bag generally, but because I'm not accustomed using it, that's why I use my other sewing machine, the console, because it's easier because it's a flatbed. It takes time and practice to get really good at sewing on the singular machine, by the way, but you could just use it just to sew your bags regardless, but it takes time and skill, so I just want to add that. Here's the final look.